In the heart of Ugwani, young Sochima's world was woven with the love of his mother, Ezinne. Having lost his father at a tender age of 2, Sochima grew up under the nurturing care of his strong mother. As the years unfolded, Ezinne's love and strength guided Sochima through the challenges of life in their small village. It was when Sochima turned 10 that a new chapter unfolded. A kind-hearted young man named Obonnaya entered their lives, bringing warmth and care into their humble home. Obonnaya's presence became a beacon of hope for Sochima and Ezinne. He embraced the role of father figure with grace, filling the void left by the absence of Sochima's biological father. His caring nature endeared him to both mother and son, creating a bond that grew stronger with each passing day. Months turned into a story of shared laughter, shared dreams, and shared love. Obonnaya, recognizing the depth of his feelings, decided to formalize the beautiful connection they had all built together. With a heart full of love, he approached Ezinne, and in a beautiful moment under the moonlight sky, he proposed. Obonnaya's proposal. Sochima, witnessing the union of his mother and the man who had become his father in every sense, felt a sense of completeness. The village of Ugwani celebrated the union, rejoicing in the love that had blossomed with the small family. And so, in the embrace of love and commitment, Sochima, Ezinne and Obonnaya embarked on a new journey as a united family, their hearts entwined in the tapestry of Ugwani stories, where love triumphed over loss and a resilient family found happiness once more. In the happy village of Ugwani, where once laughter echoed through the small homes, shadows began to creep in. Obonnaya, once a pillar of love and care, fell victim to the poison of misguided advice from his questionable friends. Their words mocking his kindness towards Sochima and taunting him for not having his own children began to trouble at his once loving heart. As the influence of those toxic whispers took root, Obonnaya's attitude towards Sochima changed drastically. The warmth that once defined their relationship turned cold, replaced by a chilling indifference. Sochima, bewildered and hurt, found himself subjected to mistreatment, transforming from a beloved stepson to a mere houseboy in his own home. Ezinne, torn between the love for her son and the fear of losing the fragile happiness she had found, witnessed the painful transformation of her husband. The love that once bound them now seemed strained, overshadowed by the longing for children of their own. Yet the joyous news of conception remained elusive, and Obonnaya's friend toxic influence deepened the cracks in their family foundation. In the silent corridors of their home, Ezinne's tears became a nightly ritual, a silent prayer for both her troubled son and the unborn children she desperately hoped for. She longed for the days when happiness resided in every corner of their home, but the fear of confronting Obonnaya and risking their shelter paralyzed her. Attempts to discuss mistreatment of Sochima only fueled Obonnaya's anger. Threats of eviction hung over their heads like a dark cloud, leaving Ezinne in a state of constant worry. The once harmonious home had transformed into a battlefield of silent suffering. As the village of Ugwani watched the breakdown of a once happy family, only time would tell whether love could reclaim its place or if the poison of misguided advice would forever cast its shadow over home that had once known only warmth and laughter. In the serene village of Ugwani, hope found a flicker of light through the visit of Ezinne's friend Ego. On a day when fate smiled and Obonnaya was absent, Ego extended a comforting hand to Ezinne, sharing words of solace and encouragement. In the quiet confines of their home, Ego reassured Ezinne that her own children would grace their lives. As Ego spoke words of hope, she proposed a visit to a renowned seer in the neighboring village of Eziama. Intrigued and desperate for a solution, Ezinne agreed, seeing a glimmer of possibility in seeking the seer's guidance. The plan was set: they would visit the seer in 2 days, a time when Ogbonnaya would likely be away at work. When the appointed day arrived, Ezinne and Ego made their way to the seer's dwelling. The wise seer, after careful examination, proclaimed that there was nothing physically wrong with Ezinne. She was capable of bearing children. Relief washed over Ezinne, but the seer advised a joint treatment with Ogbonnaya. Knowing Ogbonnaya's doubts about such matters, Ezinne hesitated. Ego, however, stood by her side, offering unwavering support. They decided to tell the seer that both Ezinne and Ogbonnaya would come for the treatment together, although Ezinne harbored doubts about her husband's willingness. With Ego's comforting words echoing in her ears, Ezinne found solace in the belief that in God's appointed time, her prayers for children would be answered. The journey ahead was uncertain, but a newfound strength came from the friendship and the hope that with Ego's support, she would weather the storms that had clouded her once happy home. The weight of hostility bore heavily on Ezinne's shoulder as she returned home from seeking solace with Ego and the seer. Her mother-in-law, Ekema, a relentless source of disdain, greeted her with a venomous tongue that had long been bane of their strained relationship. Despite Ekema's relentless hostility, Ezinne maintained a face of respect, offering smiles in the face of unwarranted bitterness. The mother-in-law's disapproval had poisoned her husband Ogbonnaya's attitude toward Ezinne and Sochima, but it had failed to tarnish Ezinne's unwavering kindness. On this particular day, as Ezinne attempted to exchange pleasantries, Ekema unleashed so many harsh words, accusing Ezinne of turning her son into a cursed burden. The weight of Ekema's verbal assault crushed Ezinne's spirit, triggering memories of her past and igniting a deep sense of heartbreak. The night that followed was a symphony of tears as Ezinne grappled with the emotional turmoil Ekema had inflicted upon her. In the early morning, summoning courage, Ezinne approached Ogbonnaya to discuss the seer's advice. However, before the conversation could unfold, Ekema interjected, accusing Ezinne of being the sole cause of their childlessness. Caught in a web of conflicting emotions, Ezinne felt a surge of desperation. The love she once shared with Ogbonnaya seemed overshadowed by the toxic influence of his mother. As tears streamed down her face, she pleaded with Ogbonnaya to hear her out, to consider the seer's advice. Yet Ekema's venomous words persisted, painting Ezinne as the source of all their misfortunes. As the sun rose, casting shadows on a troubled household, Ezinne grappled with the fear that her marriage might unravel under the weight of familial expectations and judgments. The road ahead seemed uncertain, fraught with challenges that threatened the love she once believed could conquer all. In the village of Ugwuani, a revelation unfolded, reshaping the fate of Ezinne, Ogbonnaya and their family. Ekema, driven by a sister's helmet, led Ogbonnaya to a distant town. Little did they know that destiny had orchestrated an encounter with a man who saw beyond the surface of human eyes. As the mysterious man approached them, he delivered a message that would shatter Ogbonnaya's preconceptions. The seer's word echoed the very message Ezinne had received weeks before. The root of their childlessness lay not with her but with Ogbonnaya. Gripped with guilt, Ogbonnaya, once blinded by misguided advice, faced the harsh truth. In the presence of the seer, Ogbonnaya confronted the weight of his actions and the pain he had inflicted upon his wife and son. The revelation struck him with remorse and he vowed to make amends. The seer, recognizing the urgency of the situation, guided Ogbonnaya to go home and seek reconciliation. Returning home with Ekemma, Ogbonnaya for the first time defied his mother's wishes. He pleaded with Ezinne for forgiveness, and she, embodying the grace that defined her, forgave him without hesitation. Sochima too embraced his father, and the atmosphere that once echoed with tension now resonated with the healing power of forgiveness. In a powerful moment, Ogbonnaya confronted his mother, insisting that she refrain from meddling in his family affairs. The dark cloud that Ekema's influence has cast began to dissipate, making way for the return of joy and harmony in Ogbonnaya's household. United and determined, Ogbonnaya and Ezinne visited the seer together, following the guidance that would lead them to their long-awaited solution. The journey was not without challenges, but the newfound unity within the family provided strength. A month later, the joyous news echoed through Ugwuani. Ezinne was pregnant. The once grumpy and troubled Ogbonnaya transformed into the most loving and caring husband. Months passed, and the arrival of a set of twin boys marked the culmination of a journey filled with hardship and redemption. In the embrace of love, forgiveness, and the promise of new beginnings, Ogbonnaya and his family lived happily ever after. A testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the transformative power of redemption.